Tomorrow marks 28 years since rap icon Tupac Shakur died here in Las Vegas.
With the trial for the only person ever charged now set for March, tonight we're taking a look back at how the case came together and what you can expect from that high-profile murder trial.
We gotta start making changes. Learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers.
Words from a rap icon who died 28 years ago. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac Shakur came to Las Vegas for a Mike Tyson fight. But now that date is best known for another fight.
Members of Death Row Records spotted Orlando Anderson near an elevator bank inside the MGM. And at that time, they began to kick and punch him.
Metro Police say the backstory starts in California, where Southside Compton Crips gang member Orlando Anderson stole the necklace chain from a member of the Death Row Records label at the Lakewood Mall. And that is what led to the fight inside the MGM Grand.
Death Row Records and its CEO, Marion Suge Knight, were closely affiliated with the Mob Piru criminal street gang.
Police say Anderson's uncle, Dwayne Keefe Davis, gave him a gun, and they drove up next to the car carrying Suge Knight and Tupac. Around 11 p.m., they were stopped at a red light near Flamingo and Koval when shots rang out.
I remember pretty much everything. I can't believe it's been 28 years. I remember it well.
Retired Metro Police Lieutenant Chris Carroll was on bike patrol that night and was the first officer on the scene.
It's become bigger and bigger every year. I certainly didn't think I'd be sitting here, 20-something years later talking about it.
When Tupac didn't get out of the car, Carroll opened the door, and when Tupac started to fall out, he knew the rap icon was almost out of time.
He had blood coming out of his mouth and nose, and it was obvious to me that there was a very good chance that he would die. I said, who did this? Who shot you? And he looked at me and he kind of got his breath together, and I thought he was actually going to give me an answer, but he looked at me and he said, and after he said it, his eyes kind of rolled back.
Tupac was rushed to UMC, where 6 days later, he was taken off life support. His death left his fans in a state of shock.
I let it go back to when we played as kids, but then it changed. And that's the way it is.
Tragic, it's terrible. And it's a Las Vegas story because it happened here. And it's heartbreaking.
The investigation forged on. Police say all clues pointed to Anderson, but Anderson died in an unrelated shooting in 1998, so he was never tried in the Tupac murder.
We're in a constant state of grief and remorse and pain because we have to relive it.
In 2006, LA Police Detective Greg Kading began investigating the killing of rapper Christopher Wallace, better known as Biggie Smalls. Kading would build a strong drug case against Dwayne Keefe Davis.
We wanted some leverage. We wanted to be able to get the kind of compel him to talk.
Kading says in 2009, Davis told them he didn't know about Wallace's death, but he could talk about Tupac's murder.
He admitted that he was involved in not only the solicitation to kill both Tupac and Suge Knight, but that he had acquired the gun in order to do so.
Davis made that admission under what's known as a proffer agreement. I spoke with former Clark County District Attorney David Rodger about the terms of a proffer.
Which means that no matter what you tell us today, we cannot use your own words against you in a criminal prosecution.
Rodger was the DA when Davis confessed, but under the proffer, that initial confession could not be used against him.
He's the lone person.
The lone survivor who was in that vehicle.
He's the lone survivor who was in the vehicle in which the shooter killed Tupac Shakur.
No witnesses came forward, and the case remained open as it grew cold. But everything changed last year. First, a house raid in Henderson.
We have a search warrant for the residence. You need to come out with your hands up and your hands empty.
And then, after all those years, the first arrest in Tupac's murder.
27 years. For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice.
On September 2023, Metro Police arrested Davis, accusing him of orchestrating the plot to kill Tupac.
Today, justice will be served in the murder of Tupac Shakur. I thought it was dead and long gone, to be honest with you, and I'm shocked that they finally made an arrest, but I think it's a good thing.
Police say Davis went outside the protection of that proffer agreement when he talked about his involvement in Tupac's death in other interviews. Those interviews are part of the grand jury evidence.
I'm the only one. I told on myself. Ain't nobody go to jail till a day.
Rogers says it's these interviews and Davis's memoir, Compton Street Legend, that got him into trouble.
Not his proffer agreement, but his own story, his own book got him indicted.
A big focus during the trial will be the proffer agreement. The defense claims Davis lied during the interview and his book, but Rogers says the proffer could be used to undermine those claims.
They can impeach him with that and say, hey, before you even wrote a book, you were telling law enforcement officers that you were involved in Tupac's murder, and you were telling them the truth to get a deal.
Only time will tell how the high-profile murder trial will play out.
I never look forward to a trial, but I would like to see this thing move forward and be settled.